This is the LG's 2021 QNED series TV. This particular model is the 75-inch 75QNED99UPA. I was able to purchase this at a discount for my honest review. The written review that I presented is below in the comments. It's short because it's limited to how many characters that I could put in the actual written review. But now I wanted to give you kind of a real world look in my living room of what this TV looks like. And hopefully you'll get an idea of the overall picture quality of this TV. To follow are some various clips that I'll explain through that I was watching from YouTube, Disney Plus, Netflix, Prime Video, and a little bit from my Fios One. Now the problem with Fios One right now is my receiver does not feed 4K through it, so it's only 1080p. So I have a receiver on order, but I can't really show you what cable will look like, how good it would look. But I did show you a little bit just to give you an idea right now at 1080p what it looks like. So I will come back after the series of clips to give you my final thoughts on this TV. I apologize in advance for not having a nice studio setup. This is basically me with a phone looking at the TV in my living room, my real world setting. These are the settings I have the TV at. This is an initial look at the LG 75QNED99UPA television. Right now you are just looking at some 8K content off of YouTube as an introduction. I have an audio system, so I do not use the sound out of the TV, but I will admit this is one of the best sounding TVs I have ever heard. This is a little clip of Angry Birds 2 off of the Netflix app from the TV. As you can see, I think the colors are very natural, not over bright, but really just do a great job at representing color. This is watching Fios One from my cable box. In general, the Fios just doesn't come out as good as the apps internally to the TV, so there are some limitations, I believe. But again, as you can see, it's a pretty clear picture. And again, I feel these colors are very natural, not over bright, nor oversaturated. This is a little more from Fios. Now, one thing you can see in the lower left corner there was looked like a little bit of dimming in the corners, but also you can notice the blacks are very deep. Now, the whole thing from the side or the four corners with some dimming, I have noticed it on certain occasions. I can't pinpoint how or why or when, but it's generally happened on the cable. I haven't seen it using the Netflix app or the Prime Video app direct from the TV. Now after that comment, I've gone back to Prime Video and to see if the four corners and or the left or right sides show any form of shadowing. Now one more time back to Prime off the app with darker scene. As you can see, the blacks are very deep. Now you can maybe notice some shading in the four corners, but overall, again, it's not enough that I could say it's bad. Now, I can't compare to the Samsung TVs or any of the other comparable TVs to the QNEDs. I can't. So I can only tell you my real world situation watching it in my living room. And in general, I am very impressed with this TV. What's interesting is on the Fios 1 screen, if you notice on the corners, it's hard to tell if that's from the actual Fios 1 box or from the TV, but it's kind of distinct on the flash screen, the splash screens from the Fios 1 box when it's not on. It's pretty distinct in the lower two corners, as you can see, even with these brightness on. The upper two right corners, you don't really notice any sort of dark shadows or anything. So at some points I have noticed it. It hasn't distracted me or detracted me from watching the programs that I've seen, but I just want to make note that it may be there, but also that again, I go back to the blacks, which are very deep, and the colors very natural. Here's just a quick shot of some Olympic tennis, just to give an idea of motion. Very clear in my estimation. Now this is back to darker scenes on the Fios 1 box, and the shadowing looks pretty good. It's very hard to see if there's any the four corner or the sides. So here in a darker scene with the deep blacks, I still feel this TV does a great job at representing itself. One last look at YouTube UHD content. At this point, I feel for me it's the only way I can really show off the quality of the TV, the detail, the clarity, the colors. I've never had an OLED TV, so I cannot compare. I've never had another brand. I've had other brands of 4K, older 4Ks. Actually, this is replacing a 60-inch 4K TV. It's about 5 years old, from another brand. But I just look at this TV, and hopefully these videos will show you what the picture looks like. I did not get to any real technical details about the TV. There are a lot of videos on YouTube going back 6 months when this was first mentioned to be released, and they compare it to the Samsung QLEDs, and they give you all the tech specs. All the tech specs are out there, and I figured I'd leave that to the experts to present that to you. So regarding the TV, in my experience, overall I find it a phenomenal TV. Now, if you do some reviews of your own, there are mentions of shadowing either on the sides or the four corners. And yes, in certain times I have seen the corners or the sides slightly shadowed. Now, for me, it's not as distracting because I don't pay attention to it. The only reason I really notice it is because of all the reviews pointing it out, and I was specifically looking for it. I didn't find it terrible. I can't compare it to other TVs, and I don't know what other brands or other TVs suffer from the same fate of shadowing. But I do notice, the big thing I noticed with this TV compared to my 4K 60-inch Samsung that I transferred out of this room, the blacks to me are unbelievable in this TV. They're deep. I don't see any sort of hazing. The other TVs I've had kind of have grays and a little cloudy looking. I find this TV to be unbelievable with blacks. And I personally think that these colors are natural. I tried this in vivid mode, I've tried it in all the other modes, and I came back to standard. I think it pretty much represents the type of colors this TV can produce. I think you'd be happy with this TV. I think it's coming in at a price point of $4,800 when released, and I think that's coming up really soon here in the United States. And I think it's a really good TV to consider. I did get a soundbar, an LG soundbar with this TV also, but because I have a full audio system in here, I did test it with the sound bar, and yes, it connects very well. It synchronizes using the speakers from the TV and the sound bar. But ultimately, I'm going to have an Atmos set up in here, and the sound bar went upstairs in a room that doesn't have sound. So that's why I didn't do it together here. This is pretty much about the TV. So bottom line for me is this is a great upgrade. The size is perfect for my living room. I can't get anything bigger than what you see here in the living room anyway. And I think you'd be very satisfied with the TV. And hopefully you like this review. You can, I'm not great at this, and my dog's in the background squeaking his toys. But again, I hope this gives you an initial idea of this TV. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to test further for you, please mention that in the comment. I'll be more than happy to respond with a video for the specifics you're looking for. One thing I don't have in this room is gaming. There'll be no gaming. It's strictly the apps from the TV or Fios One. That's how I use it in here. My gaming, I only have a PS3, and that's downstairs with the old 60-inch that I moved down there. So if you leave it to content, leave it to settings, I'm very much happy to check things out, answer any questions I can, test things that you may ask, and you'll maybe get a better feel for this TV versus if you're looking for something else you're looking to buy. I hope you enjoyed my review. Again, I'm no expert, and I do apologize for the less than stellar quality of this review and my speaking, because I'm not really good at this, but I did want to show you this new TV. Thank you.